Hi everybody, this is Sea Cat or Crystal Cat, depending on how I go by on my socials. And today I got a very special coloring book. It's from Clarity Cats Readings, and she's on Twitch. And I will be putting her link in the on my area of where my explanation is and profiles or whatever. I'll be linking her Twitch in that area, and she sent me this as a birthday gift, as well as an Olive Garden gift certificate, which was very nice of her. And this book is I had it on my Amazon wish list, and it's coloring books for cat coloring book, and it says on here ages 12, 6 to 12, and I think that's kind of advanced for a 6-year-old. And I'll explain why, because it's a very much more detailed. And coloring books, at least I took a course once called Child Literature and Child Artistics or whatever, just a course or whatever. And it's in this course I learned they say that coloring books are a blessing and a curse, and the reason that they're kind of a curse is because they show how a 6-year-old drew a bird. And the bird that they drew was very beautiful, kind of all kind of intricate wings flying through the sky with all kinds of feathers and colors flying. And then they showed how at 7, after coloring books, how a child drew a bird. And the basically way they drew a bird after it's they turned 7 was this. And this is how they drew a bird after they were using coloring books, because that's how the coloring books looked in the book. So that's how they drew a bird. And as whereas before, it's they drew it with all kinds of details and shapes and intricate feathers and everything. And it was really kind of sad to see this picture of this kind of very detailed bird after mute a second for an ad. Sorry, I'm using royalty-free music, so that's why it's I have to sometimes pause for ads. But anyway, this bird, like I said, went from being very beautiful with feathers to this. So they say that maybe up until the age of maybe 7 or 8, just to stick to basic shapes circles and squares and shapes for them to color in. And after they get more advanced, to start using things like this or whatever, so they don't change their perception of what they think things should look like. So it was it was kind of sad, but I don't know if it's I tried to do a little bit of research and see if I could find it on the internet or whatever, and I couldn't really find it. Maybe I'm not using the right wording or whatever, but that's basically what it said, that it changes their perception of how they see things. So it's a blessing and a curse because it teaches you how to keep in the lines, but it's a curse because it changes the perception of how a child sees things. This from a beautiful intricate design to this, because it's that's how they saw the bird after the coloring book. But then I saw I don't know if you guys know what Bradford Exchange is. It's really these high-end bougie gifts, and they had a coloring book, and I was trying to find out, this is $34 coloring book with a set of colors, what kind of colors they were. No explanation of what kind of colors they were, or what brand they were from. I think it was Polychromos, but I'm not sure. But I was oh, that'd be cool, and it was a cat one, of course. But I'm do you really want to spend $35 on a coloring book? But Bradford Exchange does have a lot of nice items, but I'm just not really sure that I want to spend that much on a coloring book. So let's see. First, I think I'll start with the eyes. We'll see how well we can get with these eyes. And I might go over this again with a marker. Like so this one I thought like looked like Daisy, and this is what I'm gonna be drawing today. Or coloring, I should say. And like put a little bit of Daisy did make a little bit of an appearance earlier today, but I think she realized that I was not interested in like doing anything for her, so she left. And if people that don't know who Daisy is, this is Daisy. She's a cat that I adopted from the Humane Society. And this was a birthday gift from like Clarity Cats. And I keep finding out more and more stuff about my birth. And then I'm like, oh my god, like this is like my mom never told me. But anyway, my mom when she was working, this is like in the 70s because I'm a lot older. She was like working that night, and it's like I was a month and a half early. I thought it was 2 months, but I guess it's a month and a half. And I was working. Her mom was working that night. I guess she was working, and she says to her boss, I think I'm starting labor. And the boss was like, you're not due for 2.5 months, so get back to work. And she's like, okay, so she goes back to work and works, and finishes her job. And she worked kind of in like a restaurant type gas station place. Goes back to work and says, and then she's like, well, my water broke. And then boss man was like, well, who's gonna finish cleaning this up? And she's like, well, not me, my water broke, so it's like, I'm out of here. So, okay, I'm really confused by this coloring book. I thought that, it's a cool coloring book, but I'm really confused. Add. But like, back to my story, mom was, kind of, working that night and stuff, and she said, I'm out here because my water broke, so she left. And, I think boss man thought she was really making it up or whatever and stuff, and it's like, whoa, it's like, can't just leave. Like, so she left. And then it's like they were having an electric, like, thunderstorm that night. And she went to the hospital. And the power went out at the hospital. And stuff, so she was born in the dark. And this is the part that I'm kind of like, wow, you never told me this type thing. So she was at the hospital, and the nurse kept saying, well, where's the father at? And she's like, well, he's not here, he's not in the picture. So the nurse comes in and says, well, you need to sign this for the baby. So she thought it was maybe for assistance, or like to like, what do you call it, maybe to get aid, or something like that, something like that, for the baby. So she's like, okay, I'll sign it, or whatever. And she kept saying, like, my godmother was there at the time, like, where's the baby at? And like, she's like, I don't know. It's like where the baby is. So my mom's like, where's my baby at? And the nurse told her, well, yeah, it's like, you're a single mom, so it's we like had you sign him up and give him away for adoption. So my mom's all upset and crying because she wanted to keep me, and stuff. So it's like, she's like, well, it's like, I wanted to keep the baby. And the nurse is like, well, you're a single mom, though. And basically kind of said, so it's like, you can't have that baby. So then the doctor comes in, and it's like, well, what's going on in here? And this is what my mom told me, just so you know. And so she's like, well, it's like, I wanted to keep that baby. And so he's like, what do you mean? She goes, well, she told me I had to, like, made me sign this paper and stuff, and she told me I had given it up for adoption. And he's like, and she's like, I wanted to keep the baby. So the doctor's all yelling at the nurse and saying like, oh, she wanted to keep that baby. And the nurse is like, well, she's a single mom. She can't have that baby. And the doctor's like, well, you need to get that baby back here now. And I guess it's a whole entire scene or whatever. I'm like this, but remember this is the '70s, so I did a terrible job staying in the line there. But so I mean, like they brought me back, and I guess the nurse had a talking to, but like since according to my mom, this hospital, like so it was kind of in a small town area, and like more like a we call it a Catholic hospital. So they've seen things a little bit different. Okay, wasn't an ad, I guess. Just changing over music, but and I can't imagine how many other places this hospital did this to, or this nurse. I would really like to go and find that nurse. I'm sure she's dead now, because my mom said she was kind of older anyway. And stuff. I think she might have been a nun, but I'm not really sure, like a nurse slash nun. But I would have really liked to find her and been like, hey, that was not cool what you did. I think I turned out just fine, thank you very much. Yeah, but like I said, it's like you can't really. I'm really confused by this right here. But we'll figure it out. But maybe we'll do this. Probably should have tested that color before I did it, but it is what it is. But like, so I can't imagine like what she was going through at that time, because it's like, that this, like, so this was the '70s, so it's like things back then were kind of a little bit different from what they are now. And nope. Okay, cool. But just like so, it's kind of like bull, because they're basically saying, "Oh, my mom can't," and I think she was probably like, it's like I said, I don't know a lot about my father. I said it's like he's been out of the picture for most of my life, and he's since passed away. But so it's just kind of like, you know, just kind of like it is what it is. I've since moved past it. So it's like there isn't any, like, so you can't change the past. You can only like do what you can with it. You know. Maybe I'll put a little bit of black lines in there. So I have like all my color supplies kind of over here. Maybe I'll use one of the Prism color. I wonder if they have a black in here. Let's see. Do they? This will work. Let's see what. Yeah, that'll work. I don't think this is going to look exactly like Daisy, but these are one of my Prismacolor. This brand I got like on sale, like in a bit, like at the in clearance section. So it's a really good deal. Ad. No, is it an ad? No. Okay. Then it's like I'm just trying to make sure. Yep. Yep, it's an ad. Be right back. I'm back. Okay, but some of the colors I've been using, it's like, this is called Peridot, right here. And I don't think it looks like Peridot, because I always thought Peridot was like green. At least the stones I saw, like light brown. Warmer gray, whatever warmer gray is. Mauve. And crazy pink, like C, like it says, like, I don't know if you can see it right there, but it's literally spelled C-R-A-Z, like Z pink. And then like the one yellow that I used was like honeydew. I guess it looks like honeydew. And apricot for the yellow. Might like do a little bit there. Because Daisy's got very distinct color eyes. Like they're kind of like a yellow, they're kind of like a green. Let's see, and then do her nose. But she's got very like a distinct, they're not really like, just, you know, they're very distinct. And then she's got the pink nose, and she's got light pink paws. There's little black spots on them, but it's like, the chances of me getting a picture of her with her paws out is not going to really happen very often. Let's see, so... that was warm gray. Kind of really funny because it's like, this picture right here, it's got the one eyelid, or it's more defined than the other one. And she has like kind of like one eyelid that's kind of like more defined than the other one. So that's kind of a funny thing. Let's see. This is silver, I think. And back. Let's see, color that in. See, maybe do a little bit of white. But my last video, I did kind of explain how I found Daisy and what it, and that, and it's like, you know, and you can watch that vid, and I might link that vid too in my like, what do you call it, my description too, like, of this, just so it's like, not gonna be exactly like Daisy. I'm just trying a little bit to make it like Daisy. Let's see, her paws. And she has like white paws. The funny thing is, then she has a whole tail that's, I think this is a tail, that's all like, you know, whatever. Then there's one little white spot on her tail. So. So I'm just kind of winging it. So these are the Crazy Art and the Crayola I prefer the Prismacolor, but I don't really like using it for coloring pages because it's like they're kind of, you know, expensive. Or no, it's not Prisma, it's Faber-Castell. Prismacolor and Faber-Castell. That's the brand that I like. And this is bronze yellow. Let's see. Okay, a little bit weird, but and my AC has been running because it's been like warm here. It's like it's been really warm and it's been really humid. So my AC's been running. Let's see, this is gonna be an ad or not. Nope. Okay, good. And I might finish this later. And some of these I might just do off screen. You know, because there are other like projects that I would like to do. Let's see. This color is Cappuccino. So far, I kind of don't think I'm doing a very good job, but I might get this stuff. It's called cardstock, where it's basically something hard that goes underneath the paper, so you know it doesn't bleed through if you're using markers, and it doesn't like, you know, and it makes it easier to color on. I kind of picked out some of the colors I wanted to use before I started. You know, I think I'm gonna do some of the flowers. Let's see, do we have like... I should probably show you guys this too. One of the other projects I'm gonna be working on is like a sun catchers. I made this one like we had like apartment project. You know, like where we do like little crafts and things. We have that like little events like that. And I made like the little like I made this right here, and then the crystals, it's like were mine, and they had a few crystals like you could use, and it's called a sun catcher because it catches the sun catches it and it makes rainbows. But these belong to an old lamp that belonged to my grandma that was given to me, and the lamp broke, and I probably could have fixed the lamp, but you know, I am not an electrician and I didn't want to risk something where I start a fire. So I made it into like little raindrops, and I might I have like some more crystals, so I might try to make like a butterfly one. I haven't decided yet, but we'll see what happens. Let's see. Color these. But we'll see. Like I said, it just depends. That might be my next project I do, but right now I'm working on this. So let's see. We're gonna do the flowers. I think I want these flowers to be like And this is light blue. If you're interested in what the color is. But I would really be interested. Maybe if it goes on sale. I don't know if it will, because like a lot of the time the Bradford Exchange stuff like does not go on sale. You know, just because it's a higher end brand and it's like. But maybe if it ever went on sale, I'd buy one just to see the coloring book. It's on Bradford Exchange. You can look it up. But maybe put a little bit of purple in there. So I have my other coloring books over here and a big like colors over here. Let's see if it's gonna be an ad. Let's hope not. And this color here is lime green. I don't think it looks very lime greeny, but what do I know? Every color, and this thing is like I've learned too, like every color and brand, you know, they have it's all the colors are like different, if that makes any sense. It's like one color brand's red, especially in watercolor, might not be like that, like brands like red. They might look different a little slightly. Then there are some brands where I think they kind of like just use the same formula. Like there was this one brand like I seen on YouTube one time. It was like Gucci like colors, and these colors basically. And then they also had like Gucci and some other like high-end like thing, and the things that you're paying for with like the pencil case. Gucci and like I can't remember the other brand. It's like how much I care about like those kind of brands, and some other high-end brand. And it's like basically it's like the person who was testing them basically said they were the same exact colors. You know, like they were the same exact like colors that they're using. And that they were not, you know, not that great. Like basically what you were paying for was like the name. But I might finish this off screen because I'm starting to go into like a little bit of overtime. I don't like to really like do too much like overtime, and I'll probably post a picture on like my Discord, which is in my links and my link descriptions on my you know, YouTube. I'll try to get as much as I've done because it's a lot to color here, and I probably should have thought about that before I like started this. But see, now we'll do the tail. This color is cappuccino. And like I said, you can kind of see Daisy's like picture a little bit, but she has like a very all like tabby, and then like one little spot of white, which is the funniest thing, you know. And I think that maybe I'll do it like this. I think this is a tail. Maybe it's not a tail. I might have messed up, but we'll say it's a tail. Might be a rock. We can probably fix that. So it's like I'm really confused by this picture, so. Is it a rock? It's a really weird looking rock. It's a rock. Trying to figure this out. Okay. Maybe it's a rock. You might just have to go over it with like gray or... And this color here, just pink. So we'll just... I'm having trouble trying to figure out if this is, it might be a rock. So we'll just go back to that. I think if I get more used to this book, it's like I'll probably draw it out a little bit different. But might be an ad coming up. Let's see. Kind of funny, the ad they were playing was like a Michaels ad. One of those places that I go and I try to shop often. I try to stay away from places like Hobby Lobby because it's like, to me, they're not, inclusive. The day that they say they're gonna be like, start selling Pride stuff, things like that, then I will shop there. But I usually try to like stay away from them if I can help it. So, let's see. I can find maybe a different green. Like I said, I might finish the rest of this off screen. But I got the most important part. You know what? It's like, even though Daisy doesn't have like brown paws, I might just do that just to kind of break it up. She has like white, then got a little bright in here because my timer light came on. So I can find another green. There. So this is just, it says green. So, and it's from the Crayola. What do I want to do for this? And the last thing I might do is just a background right here. And that might be, I might just call it a day with that. The song's a little bit weird, but it's free, so I'm not complaining too much. Platinum. Let's see, should I do like more? I think I'll do more of like a yellow kind of, maybe like a brown.
Build their world with Frisco by Chewy, so they can stay busy.
That was just a quick ad, so I just muted it. And I might do like a reverse color page too. I haven't really decided yet. This color that I'm using right here is Mango. And I might go over it with like a dark, like a little bit of brown shading. But like I said, I'm just trying to not have so much like brown in here. Not turning out exactly like I wanted it, but I think the most important part that I got is like the cat, you know, so that's what I'm gonna go with. And then like, let's see what color yellow is this. This color is Sunflower. Let me get a little bit closer like that. So I'm say no, maybe. I'm trying to find like not a yellow, if that makes any sense. Or it's like more of like a dark yellow. I don't know how this got in there. Well, somebody's making an appearance, so it's like I got a feeling that's like we're gonna be done here pretty soon. Hi there. Yes, I hear you. It's like I'm almost done finishing up here. She's basically telling me like, I think you're done coloring now. So I think I might be done coloring. I'll maybe finish this off a little bit and then I'll be posting it on my Instagram. I didn't really want to get too many browns in here, but you know, what are you gonna do? I think these might be rocks, so that's what I'm gonna go with. Just finish them. I don't think that's a tail. So just it's really kind of not looking like a tail, if that makes any sense. Then we'll go over it with the one gray. This is warmer gray. So I think I'm just basically gonna call this a draw. It's not perfect, but it's like I think more if I get more used to this book, it's like I will like kind of do better. That makes any sense.
You don't have to be a VIP to
And-
get more than just savings with Geico.
Anyway, but like I said, I think I'm gonna call it a day on this, but this is basically what I came up with. It's not perfect, but you know, it is what it is. I try to like, you know, so my OC doesn't get too intense, so that's what I think I'm gonna call it. Like I'm gonna call it not perfect, but I might do more on offline. But guys, thanks for like being here and watching this. And I really hope you enjoyed it and like kind of like my story. So you guys have a nice day. Be yourselves, and you guys rock glitter socks. And thanks for watching from CCat.